Let me tell y'all, Tamar Braxton is spiraling, and it's not looking good. And allegedly, it's all because of her man, Jeremy Robinson, aka JR. We all could have told her that JR wasn't the one, but Tamar wasn't trying to hear that from anyone. Now, it seems JR is back to his old ways and has dumped Tamar. And y'all, she is not handling it well. She went on a long, heated rant on social media, dragging him through the mud and accusing him of using her and then tossing her aside. But JR isn't letting Tamar have the last word. He clapped back at her, dropping some wild tea that's going to leave y'all in shock. So, did JR cheat on Tamar again? And did she really get physical with him? Let's break it down. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Now, I'm not sure if y'all have been following Tamar and JR's relationship from the beginning, but if you have, then you probably saw all the red flags waving from the start. Scratch that. These two had red banners flying in the sky. We all knew this wasn't going to end well. They met on a TV show called Queen's Court, and honestly, that was already a red flag, because we all know how these reality TV show relationships go. They don't last long. But, as if that wasn't enough, they got engaged just a couple of weeks after meeting. Now, I know some of y'all fall in love quick and are certain you found the one to spend the rest of your life with. But like they say, if you know, you know. But that wasn't the case here because JR and Tamar were basically walking, talking red flags. For starters, Tamar has been married and divorced twice. And let me tell you, both marriages were a mess. Her first marriage barely made it a year before she threw in the towel, and the divorce was anything but smooth. Then she married Vince Herbert, and they even had a son together. But after 9 years, just when we thought they were in it for the long haul, Tamar hit us with another divorce bombshell, complete with domestic violence allegations and a restraining order. It was pure drama for Tamar for a few years, but eventually they managed to put their issues aside to focus on co-parenting their son. Then Tamar started dating David Adefisio, and y'all, that relationship was another hot mess. After that breakup disaster, she announced that she was done with love and was going to focus on herself and healing. But surprise, surprise, that didn't last long. Before we knew it, she was on a reality TV show called Queen's Court, trying to find her dream man. And for the time being, that dream man turned out to be JR, who had his own set of issues. First of all, let's talk about the giant red flag waving in the wind. This man has 5 baby mamas. That should have been more than enough reason for Tamar to run in the opposite direction. But no, she ignored all the red flags and dived headfirst into the relationship. And now, it's all blowing up in her face. After the breakup, JR took to social media to make a statement. He insisted that he never cheated on Tamar and claimed that he always represented her in the best way possible. He mentioned that he had initially turned down several offers to be on Queen's Court before finally agreeing to participate. According to him, he eventually fell in love, but things didn't turn out as he had hoped. JR expressed a desire to heal and stated that, despite everything, he and Tamar would always remain friends and family for life. But here's where it gets even worse. Tamar reportedly found out about the breakup just like everyone else, through social media, because JR didn't have the decency to end the relationship in person or even via text. To make matters worse, he broke up with her in the same hour that her home and car were vandalized. Tamar later shared her side of the story, writing, "Imagine your home being robbed, moving to a new city, trying to find your new tribe, never quite fitting in, and then finally finding solace in one person you trust, only to have your car robbed and vandalized, and then get broken up with by the person you love and feel safe with, all in the same hour. It's too much." She also addressed the breakup in a video, where she made it clear that she was not the reason for the split, stating that she had been focused on becoming a better person.
Really grateful. I have done a lot to work on my mental health and change who I used to be into who I am now. And I can't help if people fall into that perception because it's easy. And I get it, But I won't let anybody hold me captive to my past and things that I have overcome.
As people started to turn against JR, He attempted to manipulate the situation by pretending to be supportive. He even went so far as to promote Tamar's tour, saying, "Dallas, get ready for the one and only Tamar Braxton, sending love and light." Thank you, Tamar, for being super supportive during an incredibly difficult time. You're not a negative and horrible person. You're a blessing to the world, and I've always been nothing short of supportive and uplifting. While JR didn't say anything explicitly shady, fans couldn't help but give this so-called compliment the side eye. It seemed like he was throwing some sneaky shade, especially when he said, "She's not negative and horrible." Like, really? Did he need to say that? People were already over the drama and had stopped talking about it, so why bring it up again? It gave off vibes of someone trying to stay relevant while sneakily dissing someone. Tamar, however, wasn't about to let that slide. She threw some shade right back, saying, "I can't believe I'm going on my love and war tour so broken. People do things on purpose just to see you hurt. Misleading is abuse and a pattern. I'm so stupid. After so much hurt, at some point, you have to find the strength to close the chapter. What a fool I was." Now, you'd think that after all this, Tamar would have moved on, taken her loss in silence, and put the whole JR mess behind her, right? Well, no, not Tamar. Instead, she went back to him, even though it was clear that he had been trying to manipulate her. Just a few days after the breakup, JR was seen stepping out with Tommy Lee, who was known to have beef with Tamar.
Wait, what? Look like somebody might as well be the coach. All right.
The timing was super shady because only days earlier, Tommy had a run-in with Tamar. Remember when Tommy got into a brawl at Tamar's concert? Tommy later accused Tamar of trying to use her for clout. So, when Tommy was spotted with JR at a game, it was obvious they were both just trying to get under Tamar's skin, and unfortunately, it worked. Before long, Tamar was back with JR, and they were spotted together at a football game. Seriously? What kind of high school drama is this?
That's why I had to go get my man back, y'all. And I know y'all lying. If y'all thought I was gonna let my man go because he took some crackhead to a basketball game, while we was broke up.
Naturally, this whole situation infuriated Tommy, and she decided to go live to absolutely drag Tamar, accusing JR of, well, engaging in certain intimate activities with her, if you catch my drift.
What is wrong with the situation is that that is your man, as you call it. That is your man. He knew it was a situation with me and you. And he was down. He was down to play op games. I wouldn't take nothing like that serious, my love. That ate my and I sent him on his way. It wasn't.
Tommy didn't stop there. She also spilled that JR had been sharing gossip with her about Tamar.
You don't want me to expose how you were saying that you kicked her out and she went back to her mother's house? Not Mrs. Braxton, not Mrs. Singer with the sold out tour that JR also told me was flex. It was cap. It was she flexing. She don't have no sold out. Between me and you was his exact words. The tour not sold out. He said you was messy. He said you went back to your mother's house. He told me a lot of things that he shouldn't tell a stranger. I just met this man less than a week.
It's completely wild, and honestly, Tamar should have left that relationship right then and there. But if there's anything we've learned about Tamar by now, it's that she seems to have a deep need to have a man by her side, almost like it's an addiction. So instead of breaking up with JR like anyone else might have done, you want to know what Tamar did? She went ahead and married him. That's right. It's unbelievable. But at least she did it secretly, because she knew she would have been dragged for filth if she had tried to make a big public spectacle out of it. And it's not just the fans who aren't on board with this relationship. Her own family disapproves too. Reports say that Tony has been especially outspoken, warning Tamar that JR is nothing but trouble. But like I mentioned earlier, Tamar doesn't listen to anyone but herself. Now, I'm not sure if y'all have heard, but the Braxton family has a new reality TV show where they discuss the passing of their sister Tracy and how they've been dealing with that loss. Well, Tamar and her relationship with JR became a hot topic on the show, and everyone made it crystal clear that they were against it. This set Tamar off so much that she took to Twitter to vent about her family, dragging them for filth and accusing them of hating on her fairy tale life with her Prince Charming. She tweeted, "Y'all have no idea, none. The gaslighting is insane, and I'm going back into treatment. Oh my gosh, I pray my marriage can be saved and my life can be spared. My family is awful. JR means everything to me. Thank God for him. My husband and my kids have saved my life. But I'm so mad at my life. My family is toxic. I should have never gone back to BFV. Never. Y'all, I'm really going through it. I'm single and sad, and this TV stuff is too much." Her decision to marry JR after all that public humiliation is definitely a bold move. But hey, she's an adult and can make her own choices about who she marries. She also called out fans for spreading negativity about her relationship, saying, "I think it's hilarious that when I post something negative, it goes viral. When I post something positive, nobody pays attention. Y'all just prove what you want for me. Why can't I be healthy and healed? Y'all were waiting for my life to fall apart. Jeremy is and has been the most positive person in my life, my best friend and family, and y'all are just dying for me to say something bad about him." But according to an insider, Tamar is just refusing to see the reality of the situation and isn't willing to admit that her relationship with JR is truly over. Allegedly, JR has been cheating on her left and right with any woman who gives him a glance, and he doesn't even feel the need to apologize for it. Initially, Tamar tried to overlook it because she didn't want to admit to herself that the relationship had failed. However, JR apparently called it quits a few weeks ago, and that's what led to Tamar's recent meltdown on social media. Fans didn't hold back their opinions either, with some saying, "Tamar needs to leave that man alone for good. She needs to stop this back and forth with him. He's humiliated her enough already. She deserves better. I don't want to hear about that man ever again. Her ancestors didn't fight for freedom, just for her to go back and forth with him. Tamar Braxton is acting foolish. She needs to leave him behind and get serious help. Nearly 50 years old, still acting like a teenager over a man, and throwing her family under the bus after losing a sister. She's not in her right mind." And others chimed in with, "I think Tamar has a lot of issues, but these men are clout chasers and just as toxic." I'm surprised that so many people are defending this man with 5 baby mamas who didn't show any signs of being a good guy on the show. Poor Tamar, because this whole situation is just a crazy mess. But what do y'all think? Do you believe Tamar will ever recover from this? Or is she going to end up back with that man? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and then check out the next video.